Hello, and welcome back again to another episode of Dr. Movie, the show that's on wheels. I'm trying to find something that just sounds cool, but it just doesn't. It's the only show with me driving. Well, it's not the only show. See, this is kind of spinning out of control because there is no real answer to this. If you guys have a cool slogan or a motto or anything like that I can use for this show, be glad to use it. So, text me, hit me up, give me a message me and let me know what it could be. Could it be, welcome to Dr. Movie, the other white meat? I don't know. Totally up to you guys. Anyways, with that being said, kind of spinning into still going through our giallo January. This one's not 100% giallo, but it has all the elements in it. And come on, it's Sergio Martino, right? The great Sergio, who directed Torso, which I've already covered on the show. One of my favorite giallos, if not my favorite giallo. That one and Deep Red, I kind of bounce back and forth on as far as being my favorite. But this one is A Suspicious Death of a Minor from 1975. And this one's got a different feel to it because when you look at it, the way that it's the way that it's labeled, it says a thriller crime story, right? So not so much straight up murder mystery, but more of a crime story. You could fit this along with a lot of your other movies of this type, and it would fit in very nicely, or it fits in with the giallo stuff pretty nicely. It's not as gruesome, but it does have the elements of giallo in it, and that's why we're talking about it, because technically when you look at this movie, it's lumped in with a lot of those giallo stories. So what do we have here? Let's look. A young girl is found brutally murdered, and the case is handed over to Detective Jeremy. How'd you like for your name to be Jeremy? Not Jeremy, Jeremy. G-E-R-M-I, Jeremy. During the investigation, maybe it's Gurmy. I'm just trying to give him some points here. During the investigation, the detective discovers a prostitution trafficking linked to powerful people. So yeah, this one kind of breaks into a lot of stuff that you see going on nowadays. A lot of human trafficking and all that stuff, the money involved. And it's never some lowbrow person running this stuff, right? It's going to be somebody big that has the money to do the cover-up and paying off all the people. Not that I'm trying to give a negative spin anything, but, that's how these things work. And that's the reason you never see any of this stuff resolved, right? Because there's too much money involved and too much money changing hands. Anyways, back to this. Came out in 75. We've got a stellar cast here of some heavy hitters. Claudio Casanelli, gosh, I mean, he's a staple of Martino movies, right? He's in a lot of stuff, even in Screamers, or Island of the Fishmen, or whatever you want to call it. You've got Mel Ferrer in this. I mean, come on, man. The guy's in everything, right? And to round things out, we've got Barbara Magnolfi from Suspiria, right? The upper class lady in that one. And so, yeah, good cast, good movie. This one's a little more palatable if you're not into the more grotesque stuff. Starts off with this young lady, some kind of big dance thing going on, and our main character, our investigator, Jeremy, is trying to dance with a girl and starts asking her questions, and all of a sudden in the background you can tell the girl's a little squeamish. She's looking around, so she notices somebody that's there that she doesn't want to be around, so she takes off running, right? So come to find out that it's a hitman, and this guy, he's basically the Terminator. I mean, when I look at a lot of the things that that he resembles. I mean, even the sunglasses and stuff are very Terminator style. So who knows? Maybe a little influence there. But this dude's a bad dude. I mean, he is wearing a 3-piece suit, but he's a bad dude. Needless to say, he catches up with her and ends up doing her in. And she was trying to give information to the cop, even though we don't necessarily know that at the time. But there's a ring that's going on with young prostitutes that are underage and drug trafficking. So that's kind of where this story starts spinning out of control. This one has a bit more humor in it, too. Even though I'm just talking about something that's pretty, disgusting when you think about it. Underage, prostitution. But there's a humor side to this one that you don't see in a lot of giallo stuff. I know I've brought it up, little black humor here and there, but this has got some straight up trying to be funny stuff in it, and it works, right? There's a fantastic scene where again this investigator is just awesome. He could be my favorite investigator of any of these movies. This guy's just cool. Is he Papa Dole cool? I don't know, but he's up there, man, because he is not afraid to push buttons and get involved. And he ends up tracking down somebody that gets their hand on some money that's coming through for... they basically kidnapped a kid from somebody that's in high standing and, of course, get the ransom money and all that kind of stuff. But it all ends up, all the money runs back into the same hands. And in the process of this, because he's digging in a little too deep, there's this fantastic scene where there's a shootout on a roller coaster. And actually, the roller coasters are not your standard Americanized, where you've got 15 cars being pulled behind each other. This is like singular cars that hold maybe 2, maybe 3 rows of people. And there's 2 of them that are going down the tracks, and we are shooting at each other. And I tell you, it's really good. There's some great chase scenes in this, car chases. And even the ending is, over the top, just kind of fantastic. I mean, this is a well-made movie. And I just had to bring it up and start talking about it. And like I said, it's Martino. I mean, he has such an eye for things. Usually a little bit on the slutty side. Not too bad in this one, right? I mean, you got some nudity because of the context of what we're dealing with. And I guess because of that, it still kind of gets the reputation of being what Martino's known for. But, for what we're dealing with here, it kind of makes sense, right? Because everyone that our investigator is talking to is in this prostitution ring, and he's trying to get information, but, they want money, and they think they have to, deliver the goods. So you got some things there, which, again, these are hard to talk about because you don't want to give anything away. But I highly recommend this movie. Now, it is 100% in Italian. You got subtitles. So I know that's always the big turn away for a lot of folks. But this thing's on Tubi. It's a really good print. And it's a great movie. So if you're interested in any kind of murder mystery movies, this one's really good. I can't say enough of how this one really has a different feel to it. I guess because it isn't necessarily a paint-by-numbers giallo movie, because you do have the murder mystery thing going on, but it's also the crime-type story where there's a lot of foot chases and shots being made. You know who's doing the killing from the beginning, but you don't know who they're getting paid by. So it's that kind of aspect of what we're looking at. And it's done really, really well. So, who knows? This may be a good gateway to get into giallo movies, because it kind of leads you a little bit more and doesn't try to confuse you as much. as the other ones do, because that's the whole thing, is to throw you off. I don't know that this one really tries to throw you off. You're just following the money, and you're following this this detective who is super cool, and you know, even his boss, you even start thinking there for a bit that even his boss is kind of bought out by the tycoons that's running all of this, the people that's really behind it. And he makes some comments to our investigator about, do you not know who this is? I mean, about as powerful as you can get. And again, it's really reflective on things that we see going on right now. And I guarantee you there's a lot of truth to that, right? So, anyways, not to muck up the water right here on this one, highly recommend this film. It's a great slice of Italian, great slice of Italian pizza. No, it's a great slice of Italian cinema that shouldn't be missed. And I think this is just a great example of finding those hidden gems, which isn't really a hidden gem to people that know about these movies. This is a pretty popular movie. But for you that haven't experienced this, or you've watched the Americanized versions of these kind of flicks, this is a great way to get into those and just discover them for yourself and just see how powerful they are and just how well shot for the time. You always have to think about when these were made. Also, the music in this is really good too, I do have to admit. It seems like he and Argento were kind of dabbling with the same type of themes, and it works really well in this movie. So, again, highly recommended. This is easily a 4 out of 5 for me, and it should be for you too. So, again, it's on Tubi, subtitles. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think, all right? Because I'm interested to kind of see where these are landing with people, right? So let me know what you think about the movie. Let me know what you think about the show. All those good things, folks. All right. Well, that's all I got for this one. Go check it out. And until next time, we will check you later.